Hey everyone, it's Jenny. Welcome to another process video. I am working with the December hip kit and have a few little bits and pieces left over from the November kit as well, and I've added them to this collection as well. So at the moment I am just pulling a few of the neutral colours and I am adding them as a little bit of a matte. So I'm putting them on the little squares that I've cut, and I'm not putting them on straight, I'm just putting them on a little bit higgledy-piggledy, and that's the look that I'm going for. So I'm having a problem here with my ATG, and the glue itself seems to be just sticking to the tape backing instead of actually coming off on my paper. So please let me know if you ever have this problem and whether it could actually be a problem to do with warmer weather. So it's summer here, we're having some really hot days, and that seems to be affecting my ATG. So I'd love for you to tell me whether that could be the case or whether I'm just imagining it and I've got a dodgy roll. So I have, like I said, I have matted the photo in some neutral colours, and at this point in time I'm thinking that I would like to add some pops of aqua or teal as far as the embellishment accents go. So I'm just looking through this little Amy Tan die cut pack and seeing what little pieces I might be able to use on this layout. So just having a little fiddle around there and seeing what I might like. And so I've just had that little aqua piece left over from the previous layouts. That was the last little square, and so I've used that as well. So I am using these beautiful Dear Lizzy gold thickers, and I want to call this layout Happy. So I've just got them to the side ready, but I have decided that I need to have a few little pops of colour. So I'm using these Amy Tan rub-ons, and I will be able to add some pops of colour where I would like them to be, and some of them I've cut in half so I can use them in a few places on the layout, and others I've just left whole. So I'm just gluing that photo mat down so I know roughly where I'm wanting to add the rub-ons, and that will help with getting them in the right place and committing to them. So there it is. I'm just checking to see whether I actually like that Happy, and I do, so I'm happy to go with that. So just rubbing them on. I've said before in previous videos that these Amy Tan rub-ons are beautiful to use. They come off, you know, just like butter. They are beautiful. So some rub-ons are really hard to get off, but these ones just come off, you know, really easily. So just making a little cluster up the top left, and I fiddle around with that a little bit, and I come back to it and change the way it is. So the way you see it now gets changed a little bit. So I just cut the little yellow paint swatch in half so that I can use that yellow in another area as well. So what am I doing here? I'm looking, thinking, okay, it's not quite making it to the top, so I need to add another little strip of paper up the top to fill in the little awkward gap that I had. So I just used a branding strip from another 12 by 12 that I had cut off, or another layout, and I have used that. So I'm just fiddling around with this cluster area at the bottom, and I put it up on some foam tape and stick that down, and then when I go to put the Happy there, I realise that that's not really going to work because the Happy has quite a lot of dimension on it, and so therefore having that little piece with dimension on it as well wasn't working. So here I am trying to work out the placement, and I actually quite liked where I had it when it was up a little bit higher, but you will see that I actually fiddle with it and change my mind a lot. So I'm wondering whether I'd like it up the top, but I like it down the bottom, but then it's not working with that tag. So the tag's just looking awkward. So I decide to put the tag up the top right and move the little camera to the bottom left, and I'm happy with that. So just sticking that one down as well. And what am I doing? So just using that little bit of yellow rub-on that I cut in half before, so adding a little splash up there with the red, and looking through to see whether there are any other little pops of colour that I might be able to add, and trying to place a little love heart, but that didn't work. And here I go back to fixing up this top section and make a little bit of a mess because I had stuck it down with a staple. Then when I took it off, I realised, aha, it has a rub-on underneath. I need to put it back, otherwise there's this lovely gap. But all I've done is I've put it back, I've moved it over to the left a little bit more, put it up a little bit higher, and tucked that little die cut feather underneath, so that worked well. And then I cut the excess tag off that was a little bit too long, and used the end that was the little fishtail banner, and I have stapled that to the page. So that little cluster point is just about finished, except for I do add some wood veneer towards the end. So I've just cut off some little shapes that were on the rub-on pack, and I'm adding a few more pops of colour. So now I've got the yellow in 3 little cluster points. So just trying to put something down the bottom there, but I wasn't sure whether those little rub-ons were going to be seen. So just having a look at what I've got in my bowl and seeing if anything's going to work. And I decide that I don't want to put any more die cuts on there, and I remembered that I had these wood veneers. So I am just moving them around, seeing which ones are going to work best and where they will fit, and I'm going to commit to those. So I end up pulling out my Prima chalk ink and I start colouring up those little wood veneers. So I've just got a colour, I think it was Blue Jeans, just having a look, sorry about the noise, Farmer Jeans. So I'm just adding a light little bit to that, and don't want it to be too dark, but that just helps with the darkness of the navy in my son's shirt. So it just brings that little bit of colour into the layout as well. And I'm just sticking them down with some glossy accents so that they are going to be stuck forever and they won't fall off. And then I'm just having a little bit of a look in my sticker sheet, and I add that Hello Big Smile sticker and some of the little circle elements that look like enamel dots. So just putting a couple of those on the page, and then I actually do pull out the enamel dots as well and add a few more of those to the page, and I'm pretty happy with that. And you will see that I've actually put the journaling on, so I turned the video off and put the journaling on, and now I'm adding my black ink splatters. So I'm just about finished, and I will show you some close-ups, and that is it for me. So thank you for joining me today, and I appreciate you stopping by and for all of your likes and comments, and welcome to all of my new subscribers. And so yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope you have a beautiful day, and I will see you next time. Bye!